Working in the arts at St. Andrews is to see and hear and feel the emergence and sometimes the renewal of these creative voices in all of us, all the time. And as we've been growing personally in our art and with these voices, the actual spaces around the school have continued to expand to support what we're doing, like the D-Lab and the exhibit spaces at the Student Center, which are awesome, and the dance studio.
The way I work, the way St. Andrews works and is built really is harmonious. And I see my role here as managing the collaboration between the faculty and the students with an eye toward allowing the students to explore as far as they can into the art of theater.
I think art has really given me a chance to feel like I've been accepted into the St. Andrews community almost, because when I draw and I paint, people actually notice. And I remember the first week I came here and I had my art hung up on the walls, and people, they actually came up to me and they knew my name, and that was a really amazing experience.
One of the things that I love a lot is sort of sculpture and 3D materials, so getting to work with the students in the 3D lab was pretty exciting. They all seemed really excited to have some stuff cut on the laser cutter and then build it into a sculpture, and I'm looking forward to doing some more of those kinds of projects in the future with them.
So when we designed and built the D-Lab last year, we were looking for ways to expand students' experience and look for ways to enhance their skills and their creativity. And so any class can come in here and use the aesthetics of art and the content of science to create new and interesting projects.
And I'm honestly like a terrible artist. I couldn't draw or sculpt if my life depended on it. But here I can take the ideas or just the willingness to create, and I can make it and put it into the world without being restricted by my mechanical ability.
The new Student Center Dance Studio has been great for our program. It allows space for our huge spring dance company, and I think it's definitely allowed me more perspective when I'm creating work.
I definitely like dancing in this new space. It's more room. We are not really crammed. And I think it was a great addition to the performing arts. And speaking of performing arts, this year what kind of struck me was my character, the MC, in the musical, and how I brought it to life and everything. So.
This year I tried painting, which my grandmother has encouraged me to do since I was little, and I really enjoyed it.
Every year the yearbook has a different theme, and it's really nice because you get to use a different side of your creativity every time.
So I am in video production. It is a new class they added to the arts program this year. This course has taught me the basics of video so far. I was successfully able to make a short video for my Spanish class, and it's taught me a lot, and I can't wait to finish the course knowing even more.
Every year I'm actually lucky enough to see different sides of students based on the art that they choose to share through the college process, whether it be their artwork or different clips showing them on stage in plays and musicals, or even creative pieces of poetry.
So this year I decided to put myself through probably the worst experience ever and teach myself the clarinet, all because I aspired to be like my childhood hero, Squidward Tentacles. You may know him. It was difficult though, and it was definitely a challenge, but I'm so glad that I did it because it taught me so much about my own boundaries and my own limits and pushing those even when I'm uncomfortable.
I feel like the digital art has become more recognized as a medium for self-expression as opposed to just a novelty like it was not too long ago. Like recently Mr. Vonich came to me, he wanted a poster done that had that digital crisp quality to it, and I thought that was a really great opportunity to show off what you can do with a computer.
In AP Studio Art, my intent was to investigate how you can incorporate signed languages into art by not merely drawing pictures of hand signs, but by abstracting certain components to show how many components there are of sign language. This one that I'm working on right now, it's actually the sign for procrastination, It was my second concentration piece, and it never quite happened, which I think is just fitting.
So one of the requirements for AP Studio Art was that we had to curate an art exhibit, and I've never had to put together an event of that size or really do anything of that scale for any class. Within it, my role was to sort of gather people and see who wanted to put art pieces in, what art pieces they want to put in, how many, et cetera, et cetera. And what was really interesting and fascinating was to see just how much creativity there was in our class and how many people wanted to show things they were proud of.
So with all of this going on this year, we are seeing an expansion on what were considered traditional boundaries for the visual arts and for the performing arts, even transcending those boundaries to help us really understand differently the meaning and the function of art in our lives.